Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Family caregivers take on huge responsibilities, and it can be overwhelming and stressful. It often means bathing, dressing, and making meals. Along with that, many caregivers also manage medications and transport loved ones to doctor's appointments.
That's right. It's a 24/7 job without a paycheck. So here now with a guide for family caregivers is Jim Flaherty with AARP. We're also going to talk about a care plan that's receiving bipartisan support. We'll get to all that in a second. Thanks for being here, Jim.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, I think so many people at home are going through the exact things that Molly just mentioned. They're taking care, they're bathing, they're feeding, they're doing all of it themselves for their loved one, whether it's a parent or a spouse or a family member. What do you hear for people? Because there's a lot of people in Wisconsin living in this situation.
There's actually 578,000 family caregivers in Wisconsin. They provide $7 billion worth of unpaid care.
Wow.
We call them the unsung heroes of Wisconsin. They really are. Everybody we talked to, Katie, your producer, we were talking, she's like, this is personal to me. We did an editorial board tour about this legislation. Every editor said this is personal for them.
Yes.
Everybody is impacted by family caregiving. These are the heroes that are providing, exactly like you said, taking people to appointments, managing medications, high level, low level, all while they're trying to raise children, work part-time, work full-time, available in the middle of the night to come over to help.
Or even just enjoy retirement.
Exactly.
Right?
Right?
So we at AARP are saying we would like to provide some support, some basic levels of common sense approach support for these folks.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's physically, emotionally, financially sometimes depleting.
Yeah.
We're going to tell people in just a second. I want to mention right away this guide that people can get for free. You're going to want this guide if you're caring for someone in your life. There's a picture of it. We're going to tell you how you can do that because there's a toll-free number. There's also a website. So stay tuned for that in just a second because it's a great guide and it's a great resource for people because people need a break. And as a caregiver, you're that much better able to do what you want to do to care for a loved one if you have some probably time to yourself and if you're taking care of yourself. It's important.
That's absolutely right. And these caregivers, they need a break. They need respite care. They need somebody to come in and give them some break. So there are some common sense approaches that we can look at both the federal and state level to say, hey, let's provide some basic level supports for these folks.
So are these things that will cost people money? Or how do they work?
No, there's something called the RAISE Family Caregivers Act that has been passed by the U.S. Senate. The U.S. House is looking at it right now. We're urging passage of it. It really just creates a national strategy to set up a conversation about caregiving. Let's bring stakeholders together. Let's bring lawmakers together. Let's talk about ways that we can provide support. At the state level, we're going to be pushing for legislation in the next legislative session, which starts in January, called the CARE Act, and it's the Caregiver Advise, Record, Enable Act. What that does is say, hey, when folks have to go to the hospitals have to meet with caregivers, give them the basic information when they release them, talk to them about medications so that they're connecting directly with the caregiver. And the common sense, like you said, doesn't cost money to the taxpayers. It's just an extra layer to help folks manage this difficult task.
And it's got a lot of support, right?
A lot of support. These are bipartisan issues. And the thing about it is, in the long run, this saves taxpayers tons of money because folks would rather live in their homes as long as they possibly can. They don't want to go to nursing homes. They go there because they have to. If we can provide some basic supports for folks in their homes, this puts that off. They can remain living in their homes as long as possible. So it makes sense. This saves tens of thousands of dollars every year to be able to provide this support. But the family caregivers themselves need to be supported.
Why is AARP getting involved in this issue? Why does it matter to you?
Because we hear over and over and over again, 90%, our studies say, 90% of folks want to remain living in their homes as long as possible. We want to make sure that there are supports in place because they tell us, our members tell us, we're frustrated, we're underfunded, we're undersupported. Please get us some help. AARP wants to make life better for everybody as they age, so we got our toe in the water on this issue, saying we're going all in on caregiving to help these people.
Okay, so this resource guide, I love the way it's laid out. It's simple. It's basically just 2 pages because this is the back of it. So here you go. People can get this for free. What is in here?
Oh my gosh, it's chock full of good information. We have a website called aarp.org/iHeartCaregivers. Lots of great information in there. Caregiver providers, locations, federal and state stuff is in there. In Wisconsin, where can you get help? Support groups, just all, Alzheimer's Association connectors. everything that you would want to need as a caregiver, there are links to be able to find what you need.
Yeah, because it's like care provider locators, long-term care calculators, so you can estimate the financial burden, juggling work and caregiving. You know, all of this stuff is in this great resource guide. So here is the information so that you can get your hands on this. It's free, and all you have to do is call toll-free. It's 1-877-926-8300. So one more time, 1-877-926-8300, or you can go to AARP.org/WI for Wisconsin. Great to see you.
Great to see you. I wish we had a whole hour to talk about this. It's such an important conversation.
It really is important. Thank you so much. Thank you.